Hi, I'm Zach. Welcome back to my channel where I do readings using an original deck of cards that I made. It's kind of like a mix of tarot cards and oracle cards if you're familiar with either one of those, but the cards have characters from my game Monster Garden on them, and also some characters from comics and other things that I made. So the topic of this reading is, what environment do you feel the most comfortable in? Where can you thrive the most? Where do you do your best work? It's not necessarily about work like a job, just where do you really feel the most comfortable, like you can let your guard down and feel like you can just be you. So it's about the type of people that you're around, the situation you're in, just the general vibes and atmosphere where you feel the most comfortable and at home. So we've got 4 decks, or 4 piles. Pile 1 has this ceramic fish. Pile 2 has this beach glass. Pile 3 has this little piece of driftwood. And pile 4 has Mr. Bobo. He's the main character of my game, and this is a plushie doll someone made. So please take a minute now to look at the piles and choose the one that feels like it's the one for you. You can just kind of look at the objects or the cards themselves, and it's also okay to choose more than one, just whichever one's drawing you or calling your name. You can pause the video if you need to, take more time. Take as much time as you need, and then when you've chosen a deck, look in the description box of this video and there will be timestamps for each reading for each pile. So just click on the timestamp for your pile and it'll jump to the part of the video with your reading. So thanks, and I'll see you in the part of the video with your reading. Hi, if you chose pile 1 with a ceramic fish, this is your reading. I'm going to look at the first 3 cards and just get a general vibe. So I'll show you each card in a minute, but the basic vibe I'm getting is that you like a place where other people are going to leave you alone and let you kind of do things your own way, and even build your own space or build your own playground to play in, where you don't have to take things too seriously and no one's telling you what to do. And you can kind of go deep, discover something new, and form your own space and your own place and your own vibes, and kind of create your own little world where no one's going to be setting down silly rules, no boss is going to tell you what to do, and other people are like giving you a lot of space to figure out what you're doing. Because the central card right here is the sparkling seedling. Each of these seedlings represents a level of my game. They're each their own little world and mini journey waiting to be explored. So each one kind of represents a burst of potential where you can make your own special little space, or like discover something new from the ground up. And each one is like a little playground with discoveries and different things, and they kind of go deep beneath the surface, and then you come back to the surface with the stuff that you brought and the monsters that you met, and grow your garden bigger, and then you can play around there. So it's like about cycles of going in, exploring, and coming out with the things you found. It's like you want freedom to discover your own things, find your own meaning. Because we've also got the distance let it be card. It's like this is about keeping a distance in a healthy way when things need to play out on their own. So you need a place where people are going to let you follow your own trail, let things play out for you as they naturally will, without any silly little childish rules as you might see them. Because this is the card about little impatient characters that are all kind of storming around, stomping their feet, being kind of childish, and especially in reverse. I think that the message of this card is like, you don't want these rules and structures and anybody like telling you what to do, because that stuff just feels limiting and childish and like really unnecessary. That you want and you need and can handle this freedom to like explore without anyone's guidance and dive deep and find stuff and then bring it back to the surface. So basically a lot of like freedom, flexibility, and just kind of being able to be on your own. A lot of space for personal exploration and discovery is the kind of environment that seems like it works best for you. Let's draw some other cards to get details. Let's see here. Got the blue men, observers from the outside. Again, it's about like distanced, someone being in a new world that they're exploring and like gathering information on, kind of like someone who slipped in from the outside. So again, it's about people like giving you space. You can like ask your own questions and go on your own discoveries. It's like you don't even belong in this space that you're in or something. It's like you're there as a visiting guest to like explore things and gather your own information, not like a rigid structure where you're in this locked into this place every day with the boss telling you what to do. I think when you feel like it's just temporary and you're just stopping by to have some fun, and like there's endless discovery in other places that you could go to, that makes it more, you feel more welcome and at home there. Yeah, so I think you like this kind of place where you can freely do your own thing and dive deep and discover new things, but it's not that you're ungrounded and that you're just an out of control, freewheeling person who's unstable and all over the place and never settling down. I think at the end, you do want to create a stable foundation to work on and make really high quality work with all this data that you collected. It's just that you want to create that stable foundation and situation for yourself, not having someone else create it for you. It's like what I said at the beginning about how you want to make your own playground. You want to go in, be able to make the structures for yourself, figure things out for yourself, and then once you've got things figured out and you know you're doing it your way and you're on the right track, then you can make really high quality work. This is kind of becoming about a job. It doesn't have to be a job, but this is the character. This is like the high quality work making character, basically. It's about this character that has really high standards, wants to doesn't want to waste time with any time wasting monsters or silly pointless rules. It's kind of more picky about who it's friends with, but that's because it has really high standards. It wants to have a lot of meaning, substance, and quality. And this is a floating intuitive poet who kind of just lets mysterious poetry flow out of her mustache. Like she kind of actually goes along with the blue men. They're both these blue floating creatures like they're from another world. But in reverse, this can be about being kind of ungrounded or needing some grounding to let this poetry flow out. So I feel like there's kind of two stages with these. It's like you want all this freedom, no one telling you what to do, but it's not just that you're spinning off into oblivion. You actually are gathering data. You want to make high quality work and work from like a grounded, stable foundation. You just want to make the foundation for yourself. So to other people, they might be frustrated that you want to do things your way, that you're not just listening to a boss and following the rules, but they might not realize that actually you're in it for the long term to make some really good stuff. You just want to have the freedom to figure things out for yourself and have it make sense for you and set your own foundations that you're building on. So in terms of a job, it definitely sounds like something where you're either having a lot of freedom to do it your way or just being totally freelance and independent. I mean, this is the character that doesn't have too many friends because he's so picky, and this is the distance of just letting it be. And then these are like the kind of distance observing blue men from another world, so it does feel like a little bit solitary. Maybe you really do best working on your own at home, potentially, just having the free reign to do your own thing. It doesn't have to be at work, though, just in general. Maybe also like environments that have this flexibility and freedom, because in the end that gives you more stability and lets you do better work. So yes, I think you do best in environments where you have the freedom to gather your own data, go on an adventure for yourself to figure out what you're doing, and then use that to really do stuff, perform at a high level. This really became work focused. I didn't intend it to, but that seems like what it's about. You could be an artist who it's not like work, but you really want to make high quality stuff. It could also be about a job where you want to work at a high level. You don't want people bothering you and telling you what to do. In a social, more just general social life vibe, it could be the freedom to go off on adventures and not feel held down. Be able to have really special, just high quality experiences, really nice things based on your unique understanding of what's going on that you got to figure out for yourself without anyone imposing silly childish rules on you. So a lot of freedom, a lot of flexibility, and at the same time, a lot of, facilities and opportunities to really do something with all this flexibility and freedom. Yeah, so in the end, I feel like with a job, it might be an actual job, an actual place that you go to, because in the end, you do want to have a place to put all your skills and stuff you figured out to use, but just a place that grants you a lot of freedom and flexibility, especially in the early stages. And a place where people understand that this initial wild freedom doesn't mean you're not serious or not productive. And conversely, like a place where it's not just like freewheeling craziness all the time, where people also do have standards in the end. I mean, you can really do your thing and develop something in the end. And like explore this space that you built, or this, I keep thinking like you want to make your own playground and then play in it. So in my opinion, like play is really important. So that's not to be childish or put it down, but it's that you don't want to play on someone else's playground, and you don't just want to build playgrounds one by one and never play on them. You want to make your own playground and then play on it too. It's like you want the best of both worlds, but that's very understandable. So a place that lets you do that would be the ideal environment for you. And I think minimal like imposing from other people, a lot of independence. So that's your reading on the type of environment that works for you. I'm going to leave it here. Please let me know in the comments what you thought of this, if you thought it was accurate, what it is that you're making or doing or exploring. And subscribe and hit the bell icon when you subscribe so you stay updated on new videos. And thank you. Feel free to share also the video with anyone you know who you think would like it. And I'll see you in the next reading. Bye. High pile 2. If you chose the beach glass, this is your reading. So we'll do 3 cards in the beginning just to get the general vibe. So I think if you chose this pile, like, you don't want to just be totally left to your own devices and kind of just unleashed into some chaotic environment where you're supposed to jump into action and like figure out what you're doing and like make sense of it all. You want something that's a little bit structured and where it's almost like you can follow a path provided by someone else, a little bit more linear and guided, where you know that you're going in the right direction, but you still want to go on an adventure and like get to a worthwhile destination, but kind of figure things out. Or maybe just that you want to figure out in a logical way, but not just like this random chaos you're thrown into, kind of guided by something, whether it's your own logic where you can figure things out, or you know, a set procedure that's provided by someone else. You want to get in there and figure things out in a way that you know is going to work out, and not just being chaotically like thrown into a mess that you have to figure out for yourself. We've got the Mr. Bobo card. He's the main character of the game, so this is about like just listening to yourself and being your own guide, and this was in reversed. And together with some of the other cards, like this one, this is a card about precise action, kind of seeing weaknesses and knowing where to strike. In reverse, it can be about like not liking things, or things being too like cutthroat and like overwhelming and jarring. And this is ready, awaiting orders. This is about jumping into action, being ready to go right now, and kind of being on the ball and being in charge of putting plans into action. And that was also in reverse. So I feel like you don't want, it's kind of scary and overwhelming if someone just says, okay, you do everything, figure it out, put a plan into action. We're waiting to do what you tell us to do. That's like a scary, overwhelming situation, which is very understandable. I mean, so it's not that you just want to like follow someone else's orders, but you want something that's structured, where you know where it's leading, that you can figure things out as you go. You can like follow the path. And then let's get some cards to get some more details on this. This is an interesting one. Yeah, okay, we got Friar, clearing the way. This is the monster that's interested in getting to the destination as directly and efficiently as possible without wasting time on blah, blah, blah. I think you don't want overwhelming chaos. You don't want people just talking and talking about nothing, about theories or whatever. You want to get to the point. I feel like you might be a very logical person. You want to figure things out. And again, about clearing the way, it's like following the course. You want to follow the procedure, follow the course, and find your way to the destination. I think you probably don't want to like be the person in charge, because the person in charge has to deal with all this blah, blah, blah of people like bickering over stuff or someone has a problem. So it's not that like you want to just follow someone's orders, but like there's many reasons why you wouldn't want to be the actual leader, be in charge, figuring out a plan amidst chaos. I think you don't like doing that. Oh, wow. And let's see here, interesting. Yeah, I think you do want to like create new things and explore the unknown. It's interesting. It's like you want to explore the unknown with logic and like with a very clear guide, of something showing you where to go. I mean, this is literally the logical creative card. This is the card of invention, connecting the unconnected. She's like a genius inventor who just wants to be in the lab, making new connections, figuring out what to make just for the joy of making those new connections and the joy of discovering something new that no one's discovered before. So I think you're driven and motivated. You want to make something new that no one's done before, but you also don't want to just be thrown into some chaotic situation where everyone's looking at you and you have to deal with people just talking and wasting time. This is the card about exploring the unknown. With these together, it's like making new things that have never been seen before. You want to journey through the unknown, but like following a sensible, logical procedure. Probably if you got this pile, you don't like, or you're not so comfortable around like chaotic artist personalities who are just all over the place, spouting out ideas and talking about all this stuff that barely makes any logical sense. I mean, you are watching a tarot card like reading, to be honest, so you must be somewhat open to this stuff. And thanks for watching this video anyway. But I think you probably you want to explore things and make things new, but actually follow a procedure, get things done, and actually make something. Put two and two together, follow the course, sure, go through unknown things, make discoveries. Maybe you're into science or logic or programming. You have the star card, center of attention. This is an interesting card because it's about a character who's like an MC of a party, so he's not the center of attention. It's about just the fact of guiding. He can guide people's attention to the next thing. So I feel like you might be okay with kind of leading from behind, or through the stuff you make, guiding people's attention to things, and also just being aware of your attention as focusing your attention on the thing at hand, not just chaotic madness all over the place. And yeah, then we've got the unexpected developments card. This is interesting. It's the unexpected developments card in reverse. So this card is about one thing leading to another and never really knowing where it's going to lead. In reverse, it can be when you don't like this unexpectedness. So it's kind of funny. It's you want to explore the unknown and make new things, but you don't like situations where you don't know what's going to happen. So it's a little bit of a paradox, but it actually makes sense. Exploring the unknown is a lot, and it makes sense to have a structure and procedure for it, and just to be doing your role, not thrust into the forefront, into the middle of this. This is literally what science is figuring out hypotheses about the unknown and then testing them. So I feel like you could be into science. Science is actually exploring the unknown. It's not about, we understand everything about the universe because of science. It's we have no clue how this works. Let's make a theory and test a theory. It's just very procedure and structure-oriented exploration of the unknown. Whereas for some people, art could be how they explore the unknown, but that's a lot more chaotic or confusing, or spiritual things or different things like that. So yeah, in the end, I think you want to make something that's really wonderful, beautiful, and new, and helps people. In terms of this one, I feel like it's about how the end result is for other people. Because this character is guiding people's attention to things that matter, and providing a service to people in the end. So I feel like you maybe want to be behind the scenes, able to just with the skills that you have, contribute to this creation of something new, but not having to deal with maybe you just don't want to deal with problems that arise along the way, having to deal with other people, having to manage other people. You just want to focus on using the skills that you have, that you've developed, to get from point A to point B, or to this unknown point through the course of a long procedure and journey of figuring things out. But yeah, either back seat or behind the scenes, where you can just focus on using your skills, inventing things with your skills, and in the process of it contributing to this exploration of the unknown, maybe contributing to a bigger project. I think probably you need to work on a team, because someone else does have to be the leader, dealing with things that come up and really figuring out the overarching plan. But I feel like you wouldn't want to be a manager. This is becoming about jobs. I didn't intend it to be about jobs, but it kind of is. But in general, just in life, something where you're making something that's helping other people, but you can just focus on using your skills and getting the job done. You don't have to figure out these plans or be painfully thrust into the spotlight and having to figure things out for other people, or or to deal with every little problem that comes up. So I keep just imagining a programmer. A lot of programmers that I know or have met they love what they do, but they really don't like managing people because that's like a distraction from doing what they do. And what they do is very logical. It is very creative. Actually, programming is extremely creative and creating new things, and services that help people and do contribute to like breaking new ground, inventing new things. It's very creative. It's just also logical. It's also structured, and it's kind of behind the scenes, and that we usually don't think, oh, that programmer is so famous and so amazing, even though somebody is programming most of the things that we use and like. Or it could be something about science. I just keep thinking of science and science and programming and like logical things for the types of things that you like doing. Yeah, outside of jobs, probably like in social situations, you like to like get the ball rolling and do what you're going to do, but at the same time not be the leader. It's interesting. But anyway, let me know what you thought in the comments section. I'm going to leave this reading here. Actually, I feel like drawing one last card. I don't know why. This reading was just so interesting. I'm going to get one last card for y'all. Here we go. Yeah, okay, we got Rufy Ride the Wild in reverse. This is a monster that's just filled with erratic energy, like bursting at the seams, and like literal just chaos and surges of energy, kind of not necessarily directed anywhere. So I think that's what you don't want. This just like chaotic bursts of energy, crazy, wild, expressive people all over the place rambling about stuff. And that just kind of clarified it. So yeah, not managing people, not dealing with them, but using your skills to create new things, explore the unknown, and in the end provide a service, and just not deal with unexpected things that are coming up. So yeah, thanks. Please leave me a comment and let me know what you thought, and like the video, subscribe to my channel, and please share the video with anyone you know who you think would also enjoy it. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye. Hi Pile 3, if you chose the little piece of driftwood, this is your reading. See what the 3 cards are, and then I'll look at some more after this. I think if you chose this pile, you want to do things your own way. You don't want to overthink it, because you feel like overthinking things can kind of kill the fun and the joy and the adventure of it. And you don't want to stop at just the smallest things, like maybe you're not satisfied just with staying just in the local area. You want to like go big and go far, but also while maintaining your just weird, unique vision. Because the central card is Tinty, broken and beautiful. This is this monster that represents just complete self-acceptance, and that all the like broken parts are actually the beautiful parts, and the imperfections are the perfections, and just putting himself out there, no questions asked, no shame, and just striking his own path. I feel like you want to strike your own path. That kind of sums it up. And when it comes to striking your own path, like, I think one thing that can really make you feel blocked and stuck is when people try to demand a logical explanation from you. Like, why are you doing that? No one's done that before. You better explain how this is worthwhile before you do it, because this is the analyzing analytical monster, but it was in reverse, which is like too much rational thinking and getting stuck in rational loops. But that's the problem. When you're doing something new and different, you can't logically explain it in terms of the normal logic and normal system. For example, if you have a totally, new job or new approach to life or new idea, a lot of people will demand that you explain it in their terms, but that's just not possible sometimes. If you're doing things totally weird in your own new way and being totally original and striking out that way. Then you've got the squares, the complementary colors. They were also in reverse. These are the first monsters that come to your garden. They're squares in different colors, and they bring flowers in their color. They're just like this simple, nice background energy. They're nothing special. They're not major characters. They just like add a little bit in the background. But I feel like this is saying you don't want to just settle for less and just have nice little things in the background and just kind of stay hidden back here and not go anywhere. Like, you want to totally go for it. You don't want to like have to like look at all the details, question everything, and like be told that you're not good enough, you need to fix yourself, and you need to think things through. You just want to go for it. Be able to have a weird, unique adventure where you're putting yourself out there and going far, and no one's demanding that you explain yourself first. So I personally am understand where this group's coming from a lot if you chose this pile. Because it really, like, it can kill the fun and joy when you have to logically explain stuff. I'm really feeling the Feb card. And it's interesting because this card is usually a really positive one upright. It's just about nice, joyful things and smelling the roses. But I feel like in this reading this time, it's kind of like not wanting to be content just smelling the roses in the normal street outside your house. Really wanting to go somewhere new, experiencing something new that's nothing like a rose that you can't imagine, just with these old-fashioned conventional wisdom about roses smelling good. Like, what about other flowers? What do they smell like? Let's get some other cards for this reading for pile 3. Oh, okay. Maybe a few more. Okay. Okay, this is interesting. You got Descartes, earnest enthusiasm. This is about just rushing forward and going for it. Like what I was just saying, honestly, not questioning the details. This character just has complete enthusiasm and support for every idea that a monster says. He's like very friend-focused, and whatever his friend says, he's like, yes, that's the most awesome thing ever. And his catchphrase is zoom zoom. That's his like philosophy. It's just like go for it, zoom zoom. If you're excited, just go for it. You don't have to sit around and wait for permission or wait for someone to tell you that you're good enough or that you're allowed to, or what. You don't have to wait until it's proven that this is a good thing to do. Just go for it. And the interesting thing is that, so you get Descartes in my game by first getting this character, Leg Dog, Unexpected Developments. So it was in reverse, but he's hiding in the first level. And if you kind of go off the path and talk to him, it's not necessary to do so. But if you talk to him, he comes back to your garden and he brings with him Descartes, your other card. And then things kind of unfold from there. Like you meet other characters and different things happen just because of this one little effort you put in at the beginning to talk to this strange dog thing. So it's like a little bit of effort and curiosity initially can lead to all these big changes down the line. I think in this case, being in reverse, it's just emphasizing how the unexpectedness is so important to you. You don't want to be able to expect everything that's going to happen. Like that's the best part, to have these unexpected things around every turn. I feel like kind of the feeling of being on a huge sea, and in every direction you see a distant island over there, a distant ship over there, and maybe a mountain range over there, and just this possibility that you could go anywhere and who knows what's going to happen, like lots of potential and unexpectedness. Maybe you could have one adventure at that island, and who knows, an adventure at that volcano over there. And so being in an environment where you're filled with this like sense of excitement and adventure and unknown, like who knows what's going to happen, what could be around the corner, and where you can just go for it as your weird self. You don't have to stop and think things through, and you can really rush off new into the unknown and not just staying like plain and simple every day, not just the plain and simple normal things. Like the normal things are perfectly nice, but you want something new, even if it's sometimes hard or strange or who knows. Just the excitement and fun of a new adventure is really important. And the important part of that is that, yeah, when you're having a new experience, you're not going to be able to explain beforehand why it's worthwhile. So I think this like rational card in reverse is an important part of this one. That part can feel like an obstacle. You don't want anyone like demanding logical stop and logically explain everything and explain what's expected. You just want to go for it. Let's see if we can get any other cards about the type of situation. Yeah, I was just thinking, I think this is kind of a more social one. The last two decks, they were felt a little more like independent. I think you really value being around other people to go on this journey with you, because Descartes is very social. He wants to zoom with his friends and encourage his friends to go on an adventure too. And maybe part of your passion for this is that you want to like show people this is possible. Like, look, we can zoom over there. It's fun for you, but it's also fun for you to feel like you're blazing this path for other people to come with you. And you also got Fufter. He's the monster that wants to be friends with everybody and has gentleness for all. And then interestingly, you can see in the bottom of his picture, there's this pink monster fruit, and he also got the card for monster fruit, which is what Fufter grows. In the end of the game, he becomes a monster fruit farmer. And monster fruit just represents this nourishment, just purposeless nourishment, just because. And it was in reverse. I feel like it's just strengthening this message. Like maybe you feel like there's not enough of this purposeless nourishment and fun around you. Like other people are just sitting around acting bored and just doing the humdrum everyday things, and you want to be like, look guys, we can have all this fun and adventure, like let's go for it. I think you're basically just like Descartes. You want to rev up your friends and be like, let's go have an adventure. So you're doing this like not just because, or this is the type of environment that works for you, not just because it's fun for you and you want to go have a crazy adventure. You really want to bring other people and like see them light up with joy when they realize, oh wow, I don't have to question everything and question myself. I can just have fun too and embrace the unexpected side and do it just for fun. I think that's what this one is really about. Nourishment just to have nourishment. It's like a nice meal just so that you feel charged up afterwards and you savor it with friends. It's not really for, again, with this or this one, it's not for a logical point. It's just doing it just to do it. I think you like places that give you this freedom to like go on an adventure, but also situations where you can bring other people along with you and see their faces light up with excitement and they start zooming for it too. Yeah, lots of friend-focused energy because these two cards go together. Then on the sides, you got these two cards that go together. And all of these characters are very focused on other people, jazzing them up, nourishing them. You want to give nourishment to other people and like bring them along with you on this exciting journey. So situations where you can do that, you know, social situations where you can like venture to a new place with friends and share that excitement with them. Jobs where it feels like who knows what's going to happen. Like you're allowed to like embark on a journey or like leap headfirst into an unknown thing. Maybe jobs where you can travel, jobs where you have to like get other people excited and encouraged. Maybe even a project manager or like a teacher or something where you're inspiring people and just putting yourself out there in order to encourage and fire up other people and like show them this path is possible too, like blazing your own path. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave this reading here. Please let me know in the comments section what you thought about it. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you get notified on new videos. And please share the video with anyone you know who you think would like it. And yeah, I'm excited to hear about your adventures exploring new things with your friends and zooming. So yeah, let me know in the comments section and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye. Hi Pal 4, if you chose Mr. Bobo plushie doll, this is the reading for you. So let's see the first 3 cards. Yeah, I think you feel like you like feeling like you're seeing and doing something that's never been seen or done before, and kind of feeling special, like you're beyond the normal limitations and scope of what people normally experience, and really having a deep and amazing experience that's really special, really unique and really rare, where it's not just that it's not like you're in charge, but you're somehow like outside the normal systems of authority and learning, kind of really seeing something behind the scenes, seeing how things really work. And all of the normal like ways of understanding stuff don't even make sense there because you're really getting to the bottom of it, or like seeing something really special, a special side of things most people never see. This is really interesting. You got the Take the Lead card in reverse, a natural leader that just everyone looks to step in and take control for the good of everyone. It's like a really healthy use of power and leadership. But in reverse, that I've never understood the card this way before, but I feel like it's more like, rather than anyone being a leader, it's like a situation beyond those normal ideas about leadership. It's like you're totally free and independent. It's like in an environment where there can't be a teacher or a leader because it's something like outside the realm of normal, with this special situation, kind of like escaping or transcending everyday life for a moment and really like getting to the bottom of things or seeing how things work or getting a special view on them, like special esoteric knowledge or insider view. Or like these old divisions and like separations by power don't exist anymore. You also got the Mooch learning from example card. This was also in reverse. This is the character about being a really smooth learner, like a student who can just input and output information almost like a machine. But in reverse, I think it's that you don't want to do that. I think you might even dislike that, just rote learning of the things that are already known. It's kind of like, it might sound kind of bad, but it's like you like feeling special or beyond this, which is totally fine. If that's what you enjoy, that's what you enjoy. And then you got the Monstros, deep appreciation. These are these deep, like quiet, huge monsters that emerge from the depths of water and just have like this ancient knowledge and deep understanding and deep appreciation. They feel like they're more ancient than any of the characters in the game almost. So you could be interested in like spiritual things or esoteric knowledge, or just really going in depth in a field that no one else knows about, where you feel like you have this deep understanding of stuff. Yeah, that's kind of separate from the normal systems we have of learning and bosses. So this could be like a hobby or just like a secret passion that you have that you go really deep in. I think you like feeling like you're in this special place just for you, where you've gone so deep and you're getting a special glimpse on things that other people don't get. This is a very specific and intense one. Let's get some other cards and see where it goes. I think a big part of this one also is like not being intimidated by things. Because actually, even though these cards are in reverse, this character's all about just being a strong-willed. She's a strong-willed character. No one says no to her. And this character just like kind of almost trollishly like mimics the noises of every character in the game. It's like a sound test. So it's just like repeating everything. Who cares what anyone thinks? And she just like marches into the room and says and does what she wants. And these are like these ancient monsters, too ancient to care about what's going on. It's like you're not intimidated by things. You don't like being limited by like other people's things they're intimidated by, and no one wants to go there. You want to go right to the core and get like this amazing insider view and really figure out how things work in some way most people don't get. I mean, it could be just going deep into science, but you feel like you're understanding how the world actually works, unlike people who totally misunderstand science or this or that. You have like the real special deep understanding of it. I mean, yeah, how, in the sense of like science is like, it explains so many things about our world, and other people might just attribute them to the wrong factors. I know I said you might be into spirituality before, but I think you could take this approach to spirituality or science, where it's like you're getting the real view on reality and understanding how a lot of things around us work, not just being distracted by surface level things. The groups for pile 4, cards for pile 4. Ooh, wow, those flew out. Okay. Yeah, wow. You got the boss card in reverse. These are like the 2 leader cards. One is a character from my comic, one's a character from my game. I think you don't want, you definitely don't want someone explaining to you or telling you what to do. This card is also about seeing what's really going on. There's like this scary boss character, but depending on how you play the game, you can see his true form and that he's not actually what he was made out to be. It's like you want to see what's really there. And this is the star card about center of attention. I think you don't want to be like in the center of the normal public eye, because that's so limiting. You're limited by all of the public's like opinions and desires. You have to cater to those when you're like a public leader. I feel like you want to be a secret, uncovering the secret knowledge, whether it's science or like spirituality or just any other system that you have that you deeply understand and you get to the bottom of it. It could just be a hobby or like a passion that you know every detail about this type of music or rocks or whatever it is. But you got Drizzy, the big void energy character. This is the character about taking like a systems level, way up in the air view of seeing the whole system from the outside, actually getting how it really works. This is like a meta character that understands that he's inside a game. So it's like very aware, almost too aware, because he gets that he's in a game. All the other characters don't understand that. They're just being like characters in a game. But this one, because of that knowledge, he can like access the code of the game and like delete things from the game. It's like very, very aware, meta aware, big picture, like sublime, like galaxy brain level view of the world, understanding of what's going on. I feel like part of it is that you want to like reveal or prove how like things aren't as intimidating or scary as they might seem. Like you don't want to stop at the level of just, oh, that's scary, we don't go there, that's intimidating, we don't talk about that. You really want to get to the bottom of it, kind of prove this drizzy type of view that we're just like, his whole thing is we're just one speck in the universe, like it's no big deal, like nothing really matters. Like it's just some like scientific functions happening, and like in the grand scheme of things, humans have barely existed very long. And this card is like, so my game starts and ends on this black screen, and the white diamond represents like a portal to the game world, to the monster garden where the game takes place. So you kind of enter through this and exit through this. So it's kind of like a dramatic entrance and exit. But I feel like you don't want to have this like something that's built up to be such a big deal. Like why does it have to be so dramatic as a magical white diamond on a black background? You want to like figure out what's really going on. And yeah, see what's going on like outside the system and beyond it or something in a sense. Because like the whole game is kind of contained inside this white diamond. So it's like you don't just want to stop at the edge of the game. You don't want to like if you were like analyzing the game, for example, you don't want to just analyze it start to finish. Then you're like, oh, the game is over there, so that's where everything stops. It's like you want to see outside of that, like who made this game, like what was the programming, like what was it supposed to be, but it wasn't finished that well. Like maybe I left out a whole level of the game that I didn't have time to make. So it'd be like figuring out why that happened, what was in this missing level of the game that doesn't even exist. It's like not leaving any stone unturned, not being intimidated by anything, and figuring things out really big picture at a deep level. And the key thing is just feeling like you have this deep appreciation and a special secret knowledge. It could be about any topic. But like if it's about your favorite band, it's not just memorizing their lyrics. It's like figuring out like how they came together, like how did the record label get involved in the music they make? Like did they actually write the lyrics or did someone else? And like who trained them to do these dance moves? What's the history of the dance moves? It's like figuring out all the parts and even the bigger picture. Not just like, oh, I like this band, so I memorized the lyrics and I watched their music videos and I memorized their birthdays. It's like figuring out the whole system behind it. So I think you like feeling like you really got this deeper level, more thorough understanding than anyone else did, which can be amazing. Like in terms of hobbies or your workplace, that could be amazing for a job if like you are in a position where you really have to figure things out at the deeper systematic level, whether it's scientifically or politically or academically or whatever. That's that could be an incredibly powerful passion to have. But I think you probably don't like situations where they just stop at the superficial level and everyone says, oh, that explains everything, and then someone is your boss and you have to go along with this shallow explanation, or you have to just memorize and repeat these facts from a textbook that you know aren't even true. You know the textbook has limitations, the people who wrote it have a specific like political agenda, and you're supposed to just memorize the multiple choice stuff. No, like for you, that's like unacceptable and crazy, I think. But that's not to say you want to do everything alone. Maybe you like to find other people who have this similar drive and interest and passion level as you do, and together you can like get to the bottom of things. That could be really powerful to be on a team of people with this type of attitude, or you might like to be totally alone, figuring it out as your kind of secret hobby and passion. But yeah, this was a pretty deep and intense one. I feel like you might have an intense personality. But I mean, it's perfectly sensible to recognize there's systems behind everything we do. A lot of things we just stop at the surface level, but there's always deeper and deeper that you can go, and you will like situations that let you go to this deeper place without barriers, without obstacles, without people saying, no, stop there, without telling you to just repeat simplistic facts like a parrot. And yeah, I think this one says beginning and end. You don't want anyone to tell you, oh, you reached the end, you figured out everything, and having someone else determining what's the beginning and the end of your knowledge. You don't want someone to say, oh, well, you finished this course, now you know everything. You're like, of course not. You want to keep figuring out more, not have someone else inform you when you're done. I think you just get a thrill out of seeing the way things really work and feeling like you got this insider special knowledge. I just felt like getting one more card. I don't know why. I was going to see if anything else comes up. That seems like it wants to go. Yeah, I think for you, this is very nourishing. This is the nourishing monster fruit card that usually is about this kind of purposeless nourishment, bringing nice food to a friend to keep them going. But for you, this is what nourishes you. Like for a lot of people, this would be terrifying and intimidating. Like, why are you questioning so much? Like, just leave things be. Like a lot of people are scared by deep questions, try to get to the bottom of it, questioning the system. For a lot of people, that's like the opposite of nourishing. That's like crazy, like you're shaking the foundations that they're standing on, so people don't like that. But for you, it's kind of the opposite. It's nourishing to figure out what's actually there, what actually makes these foundations, what's actually really going on. So it's not like you like the feeling of being special and having special knowledge, but it's not because you want to be better than other people or feel that you're better than other people. It's just that's what nourishes you, to figure out what's really going on. So that's fine, and people might misunderstand you and say, oh gosh, they're questioning everything. They think they're so smart. But if that's what brings you nourishment, that's what brings you nourishment. There's nothing wrong with getting this deep understanding. And for a lot of people, that's too much, but for you, that's the kind of situation that you thrive in. So I'm going to leave your reading here. If you enjoyed the video, please like it and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell icon to stay notified of new readings, new videos. And please leave a comment. I would love to know what you think about this video. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and bye.